Namaste, beloveds, and welcome. You know, Kira and I were sitting here talking a little bit, and we realized that we wanted to share a little more with you around spiritual discernment, about how does one find their way through the maze of disinformation, the maze of perhaps sincerely misguided teachers and some sincere teachers. How does one find their way?
Isn't that a great question? I mean, think about it, that, you know, we all move through, one of the things that we teach is called the Pyramid of Spiritual Awakening. And it's basically something that every being goes through. Nobody's immune. We all go through it. But it begins with what we call density consciousness, meaning born of the body and the earth. And then as we kind of master that, we, through our experiences, grow into what is referred to as spiritual activism. It's a sense of we that has a discernment from the me, yet it still has a judgment about my we versus your we. And as we grow through that, that's when we pop, and we often call it pop or drop, and we pop up into the layer that's known as Ascension awareness, a sense of the greater plan unfolding, a recognition that judgment actually wounds and separates. And then as we navigate that, and as the planet lifts, there is this final piece called Ascension consciousness, the all-encompassing. So this is an important foundation.
It's important to understand this just as a way of aligning our conversation. That every being starts in the same place, more or less. That we start out in what we call density, where you grow up as a baby and it's all about me and mine and taking care of number one. And then we grow and we have our lessons. And some people move into a more activistic state of consciousness where they're noticing it's not just about me. There is a world to take care of. There are other people to take care of. And what's happening is the heart gets aroused, but the ego is still there. And so when the heart is aroused, but the ego is still governing, then we move into seemingly heart-centered activities that still have an us versus them element, that have some anger tied in. And that's why there is a threshold where what we call ascension awareness, that we call the pop moment, where we lift into that detached state of being that recognizes that I can be in the world, I can be an agent of love, an agent of beauty, an agent of fun and play without being entrapped by the world.
That's a really powerful discernment, because when we all evolve, right? You know, Shri and I had our years of evolution. I remember all of the things that I was looking and investigating through my own journey of awakening, and certainly Shri reminds, you know, himself of his. And all of it was wonderful because it brought me to who I am now. However, it also, there were some hard lessons along the way, and those hard lessons came pre-Shri and before Shri and after Shri, and the blessing of every lesson is how you take the energy forward. The recognition that holding grudges only holds you back. The recognition that you've got to be all in to win. You know, everything Shri and I do is committed 100%. We live what we do. We are what we say. That's spiritual discernment. That's a clarity that says, I am willing to stay this focused on a path, on a journey, and I am willing to discern that if it looks kind of good, but it feels kind of not good, that I need to discern there's something going on behind the scenes.
No matter what level of the game board you're playing in, whether you're in density or activism or the ascension frequencies, there is a requirement, if you want harmony and peace, to balance your love with your wisdom.
Yeah.
And love and wisdom begin a wonderful balancing energy. You know, it's connecting the heart with the mind. When we repress our fear, we become fascinated by controversy or teachings or those kinds of things that we're actually seeking to quiet the fear, but we're not addressing the fear directly.
And they actually stimulate the fear. It's kind of like, imagine it as sugar for the fear. Right? The fear feels better because it's being fed with valid reasons for existing. Consider that. And again, the reason we are really talking about spiritual discernment as an entire teaching segment is because right now there are so many deceptions at work. There are many who are being supported to become very popular, very visible, because they're saying what they need you to hear and believe to keep you entrapped. Even though you think what you're hearing is revolutionary, it's appealing to the fear.
We could call it a spiritual tabloid.
Ooh, love that.
You know,
love that.
if we can, if someone offers a conspiracy theory or a revolution, it's tabloid material. Now, I want you to understand, here's a discernment piece. We have no objection to any of this.
Yeah, we're not judging, so
There's no objection to it. What I'm wanting to do is to just tickle you a little bit.
Okay. Did you feel that?
And to recognize that growing in awareness means understanding what's my intention? Why am I interested in this video? What am I taking away from this information? How is it nourishing my evolution, my life? If you can ask those questions of yourself, what is my intention? What am I learning? And how do I apply this? Wow, now you're in the driver's seat of your own evolutionary process, because love allows us to be available. Wisdom guides us to take action.
Did you hear that? I'm sure you did, because remember, as Sri talked about earlier, they have to be in balance. Part of learning our spiritual discernment, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, love, 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 and a lot of times people misunderstand when we're talking about love. Just love without the balance of wisdom means you're going to be used as a doormat, right? You ever have those people you know who are so kind, but they give away everything? The broke healer, right? And what I mean by that is not only are they unable to sustain themselves with a natural talent, they're also broke inside because they're not filling up with the balance. Wisdom and love balance together. You know, Sri and I have shared more than once that we do not advocate poverty. What we do advocate is the recognition that there is enough for all. That when you come forward, the energies always have to be exchanged. And those of you that have taken a lot of our programs, whether it's our home study programs or our live telejourneys or come here to visit us at Terra Nostra, you know, we only charge exactly what we need to charge to sustain and support. And that way, everyone can participate. That's called balance. Now, we know that at some point in our collective humanity history, even money will no longer be needed. However, in the current time, it is part of the energy exchange that keeps things going, but it does not have to be attracted through a sense of greed, through a sense of me, me, me. Instead, the ascended consciousness recognizes that your success is everybody's success. You know, Sri and I are often, we have so many beautiful beings here at Terra Nostra that come to work study here or volunteer here, and hey, send us an email if you're interested in that, or are part of our community. What we care about is that your dreams manifest, that you can create your own dreams. And if you really want to do that, spiritual discernment needs to be your bedrock. And sometimes how we learn it is through being hurt, is through having our hopes killed, or finding the teacher we thought was amazing and realizing that behind the curtain was a guy saying, where's my check? You know, we understand. And what we're inviting you to understand is that thank them. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, because they are helping you break free and hone your wisdom, that balance of love and wisdom, to fly with your spiritual discernment.
You know, everybody learns through mistakes. And then once the learning happens, we realize, well, maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe it was just a learning experience.
Exactly.
But at the moment of the cusp of the, quote, error, there's always some pain or some grief or some form of disappointment involved. Yeah. That's normal. That's the way we all learn so many lessons that way. And here's the one piece that I would love to ignite in many people, and that is, you are enough.
You really are.
You deserve happiness, abundance, peace, love, joy. You deserve because you were born.
Take that in.
You are consciousness incarnate. There's no need to prove anything.
There really isn't. You deserve because you were born. Because you said yes to this life on this planet. And we won't go back into like Spirituality 101. But guys, if you're listening to this video, you're a master. Even if you're a hater getting ready to send us an email about why we're going to hell, you know, the reality is there's a master inside of you seeking to awaken.
And as you begin to remember that, or just fake it a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to trust myself even though I feel insecure.
I'm all in to win, right?
As we begin to anchor our perspectives in the place of I'm okay, I am whole, and I have divine guidance even if I don't listen to it all the time.
Or if I'm afraid of it.
As you just begin to trust that, your choices will shift because your discernment is now including your divine truth.
Yes.
And as we allow our divine truth to guide our earthly choices, harmony begins to come forward, greater levels of harmony. You know, there's we have a little, it's not really a joke, but it's a smile, that when Moses came down from the mountain with the 10 Commandments, the reason he was up on the mountain is he was having a little argument with the divine, saying, please, they won't understand all this. Just give me 10 easy ones.
Just sum it up. Make it easy, right? And are we not a headline culture? How many times have you read a headline, and if you do go in and read the article, the headline has nothing to do with the truth. It's just designed to keep you in a constant state of alarm. Listen to the music on the shows you may be listening to. Constant state of alarm. Listen to the people, even the ones that you think are awake and are out there. There's a reason they have been pushed in front of you. There's a reason that they're using them over and over again. And pay attention, my angels. Free your mind. Yet let your spiritual discernment come forward. And remember, everything is training you to do that right now. We're in a great moment for that.
So the bottom line, beloveds, hand to heart, big breath in. In this moment, I trust myself. You are the guru. Choose to hang out with other people who are awake to that truth. Hang out with those who are awake, and your plate will be filled with abundance.
Namaste.